Hello everyone. Just gonna get myself sorted on my iPad. There we go. Pop that over there so I can see everyone's chat. Okay, let's get situated. Oh, I've done it. I've kicked the frame already. Sorry about that. I've done it twice. I'm a fool, Kim. Please forgive me. Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to your Monday Night Live. A little bit different from Saturday Night Live. Hey, Victory. I'm filming this for a replay later. Steve's currently working in the other room. He might come in after he's finished working. He might not. But for now, I think I'm going to get cracking. I've got the Art of the Disney Golden books here. Yes, mine is all water damaged because I got it damaged in my bag. And I didn't put the lid on my water bottle. It's fine. A lot of my books end up with lots of little page flags in there for when I'm kind of researching and studying. This book is fantastic, and I'm kind of going off the theme of today, which seems to be Disney Golden books. You'll have seen that Art Journaling the Magic had put new Golden books in the store, which I like to just tell everyone because I know I always get questions about where I get my Golden book journals from. Today I'm working in my Dumbo one, which is one that I don't work in quite often, which is great because there's lots of pages in here. And I have also got this coffee table book, mainly because there's something in here that I really, really love. Oh, and then we also read a Golden book with Storytime with Boona, if you were over there. I saw a couple of you over there. I saw Linda over there. Hey everyone. Hi Anya. Good morning. Good morning, campers. We actually read this little book. Where was it? Pokey Dog. What's it called? The Pokey Puppy. I just saw it in here. I'm not crazy. I swear. Not today anyway. There it is. The Pokey Little Puppy. We just read that on the Storytime with Boona. Oh, I love this book. I didn't know it existed. Alright, can you miss something you didn't know existed? Absolutely. This is fantastic. If you're an Art Journaling the Magic junkie, this is probably one of the coffee table books I would recommend picking up. Obviously because of the affinity with Golden books. But this also goes through a lot of that history, and there's a lot of Mary Blair in there, a lot of beautiful illustrations, and one of the things that I love kind of more than anything, if I'm honest, is a few of these illustrations, the way that they show you how the art has been set up for books, which I think is really, really great for us who like to art journal, because we are looking for that kind of that mix between like how do we get our art in there and then how do we get our story in there, how do we get our text and our words. So this gives us a few ideas. Obviously this is more geared towards children's book and illustration, but you know, an idea's an idea. I broke out Gouache today to practice Still Iffy. Beth, yeah, I'm still there with you. And in fact, I've got this one out today just in case. This is the Mission Magello palette that I was gifted. This is called The Art of the Disney Golden Books by Charles Solomon. I believe I have this in my Amazon storefront recommendation in the books. I believe I do. If not, remind me and I'll put it up there for you. But just gorgeous, gorgeous layouts. It's hard to believe that these are done traditionally, because I know a lot of the art we're so used to consuming online can be very digital as far as publishing goes. But this is the good old days of, you know, if your hand can make it with a pastel and a pencil, you can have it. This is so gorgeous. This is one of the covers of my books. I love these. I love the Neverland Mermaids is one of my favorite scenes, if not my favorite scene in any Disney movie ever. Just kind of an attitude I live by, to be honest. So here's what I'm talking about. This little layout here. You've got the picture, and then you've got a border that kind of wraps around and connects to it. It's really good for the Peter Pan one as well. And I just love that. I love the kind of vignette of it, how it's a framing device, but it's also really artistic. So how do we get that into our own journals is kind of what I'm going to I'm going to look at today. I'm not going to do anything crazy because, you know, what are you going to really achieve in about an hour? But I'm going to talk you through the process, and I will have the live stream replay available on my blog afterwards. So I've got my YouTube set up, filming it up there. So let's just make sure I am in frame up there. Hello. Hello, future people watching. Let's grab a pencil. Someone asked me earlier today why I use the red pencil, the red blue pencil. Honestly, I just started using it one day. I don't really know why. It was gifted to me and I thought, oh, this is great, I'll use this. And it became really great because I always sketch in red, and then I'll turn the pencil over and I'll kind of correct myself in blue. And it's mainly for practice. There's a lot of finished pieces that I've used this pencil for, but, you know, there you go. That's it. Not a crazy story, it's just why I do. Victory, have you made that Neverland Mermaid's tote yet? No, I haven't. I actually just went through all that stuff the other day. I had a pile of hoarded papers back there and I found that little folder. I haven't made it yet. Kind of still dealing with all those tote bags from 2 years ago. Do you remember those? I got tote bags coming out my ears. Watercolor pencil, no it's not. It's just a Mitsubishi Vermilion Prussian blue pencil. So I feel like it's oil-based. It feels like that. It's really smooth, nice and sturdy pencil. I've tried a few different brands. Mitsubishi seemed to be the best for me. So anyway, what we're going to do is kind of, you know, we're using that coffee table book as inspiration to make our own page, our own journaling page here. But I need a theme. What should my theme be? Victory said Neverland Mermaids, and you know what I'm like. I always stay away from drawing them because I can never do them perfectly and I get really upset. But I think if we do a loose interpretation, hopefully that'll be okay. So what I'm seeing is one corner seems to be accented. Actually, you know what? I like this one up the top. This one I'm looking at Captain Hook and Peter Pan. They are having a duel, and Tiger Lily's in the water. So they've got kind of these two hanging sidebars on the border, and the whole top is connected. So I need to fit something in there. And then I've got a bit of a picture kind of arcing in and a rock where Captain Hook is standing. The reason I want to just kind of copy that is because if I can simplify this, then I can just use that rock as my rock for the mermaids. Yes, Linda, I will try and make them look a little 50s, little 40s and 50s. Oh, do you know what? I have one. Let me get it. Oh, this is going to be terrible now because I've drawn it before. And if I can't replicate it, I'll be really upset. Let's try and put one of these on here. This is my illustrated insert. One of these. In fact, I'm tempted just to cut it out, to be honest. She's really cute. Let's give her a bit of a go. See if we can't get her in there. So I've just shaped out kind of an arc. That's a background color. I've got this rock, which I think I just want to keep it a simple shape. You know, don't have to reinvent the wheel here. And yeah, I think I'll just, I don't know. I'm confused because I'm getting a little too carried away trying to copy exactly how that Captain Hook rock is. But I do want to put the water line in here, that way I'll know where my water goes. Do you know what? Maybe I'll extend the water even over to this page a little bit. So now I need to put a mermaid up on here. I haven't drawn one of these in ages. I actually used to think I started with the hips. This was an illustration I did in a junk journal. Do I have it? I used to have it close by. It's gone now. I did this illustration in a junk journal. I just changed her legs to mermaid fin. So I just have to pretend like I'm drawing that. I'm going to keep it simple though, because I really like her proportions and her shape. So I'm trying to sketch quickly. See, this is where the red is coming in. Linda, where's the text going? So I imagine the text will sit here. So we're going to have something that'll frame. More than likely these will be vines. In fact, you can kind of see, because this illustrated insert was taken into account that you would put text in there. But these were supposed to be divided into columns. I think I might pull some of these and do those at the top, and I'll just do her on a rock. So I guess I've kind of tried this before, really, but now I'm specifically doing it Golden Book style. There we go. She's got a really wicked S-curve in her back there, and we'll give her a bit of a hand on the fin moment. I kind of want to simplify it so she doesn't have a back arm, but I don't know if that'll work. Put her head in. It's the face I always kind of struggle with, because this 50s, like this 40s, 50 cherub face is such an interesting shape, and the proportions lie in such interesting areas. It's like, it's really hit and miss for me, I swear. I'm going to do closed eyes, because she's going to be so unbothered. She's not even going to have open eyes. But of course, lashes. She was bothered enough to get ready, but not bothered enough to have visitors. I like her hair in this. I like that it's short. I don't usually do mermaids with short hair. And I think it's a cute little shape, that little bob. So I might just replicate that. Oh, I might put one of their hats on. One of them had a little lily pad hat, which I adore. So I'm going to put that on. Eyebrows up here for your nerves. She looks a little younger because her face is a little more round, but I think that's okay. Still cute. Curve that shoulder in. I think I'm going to paint over all of this anyway, so we'll see how much we can still see at the end. There we go. Maybe I'll paint it in watercolor. I don't know. I'm tempted to do gouache because I still want to practice, but I don't know. It's scary. And I'll put her fin in the water. So, or maybe I'll have one flick back up this way. There we go. So I'll put a little bit of a ripple in the water here, just kind of circle that fin. So she's got her face, her hair, her body, her lashes, and now I think I want to put in the top, because I need to frame this page a little bit. Please could you share the name of the Disney art book? Yes, I have said it a bunch of times through the stream, so I don't want to bore anyone that came in too early, but it's The Art of the Disney Golden Books by Charles Solomon. And I'll try and put it in my Amazon storefront if it's not there already. I don't really remember if I've put it in there. But that is the book. It's a coffee table book. So, oh, the Gouache Mermaid was awesome. Thank you. Okay, so I was just scrolling the chat for a second. So here we're here. We're getting there. I think she looks okay. It's rough. It's a rough sketch. Let's put in the top, which is going to be kind of easy for us because it's just seaweed. So I'm going to put my repeat kind of scallop loopy pattern down here. Will your other lives stay on your blog? The one with the fairy. I'm so lost with that one. Yeah, but did I even film? I don't know, Steve's screaming at me, the one from Saturday. I can't remember which ones I filmed and which ones I haven't. Honestly, so many are in my head. I can't promise you I'm thinking of the same one you're thinking of. But the ones that are on the blog will stay on the blog. There's a fairy one on there? Okay, if you say so. Steve says so, so yeah. Sorry, I've done like 6,000 lives at this point, so they're all kind of blurring into one. I'm going to do this one as a bit of a cascading ribbon swathe of fabric effect. I know it's not technically a seaweed, but I think it's still cute. And I'll put some more leaves on this. I think I'm not going to worry too much about those details, because if I'm gonna paint this with gouache, like I think I'm going to attempt, we don't need to get worried with the details. I'm gonna grab my gouache palette out, and I've got this little Mickey mixing palette here. That was also a gift. I don't know where they were from. Sorry about that. I think they're on Amazon, but I'm not sure. Will they come down? Will they come down? The vines? So unbothered. I feel like there should be an otter or something flirting with her, and she's just like, no. There should be a man in the water begging for her attention. So let me put some of this white gouache in here. I'm gonna kind of just put it some in this part, some here, just a few little dots. This is Mission Magello gouache, but I'm kind of basing it out with this Arteza gouache. And I'm gonna just roughly swipe in some of these background bits. So I use the white because it really makes the paint more opaque. But I want a bit of a dry brush effect, which I'm never, oh, that's too dry. I was gonna say I'm never good at getting it with the gouache, and today it's the driest it's ever been. So I want to put a few colors together. Purples and blues and greens for the background. Well, this might be too dry. How does that happen? I never do it dry enough, and today it's so dry. Even shaky. Probably should have done a bit more warm up before I just jumped straight into it, but that's fine. This is just a little background bit. So I guess I didn't even really need to draw in any of that detail. Luckily we didn't spend too long on it. Gouache is opaque, so you won't be able to see anything behind it, which is probably why I could have just gone in and done the background already. And then afterwards, there we go. I could have worried about drawing again, or I think I'm just going to paint it. You know, I got used to drawing it, so hopefully now that I've drawn it out once, I can just draw it out a second time with my paintbrush. Let's get rid of this. I don't need that right now. I'm going to put the background of her in, and she's going to be quite warm, or like pinky tones, I feel. So again, I think we should stick with some of that darker purple. I'm not going to overly mix all that white in, because I don't mind if it's a little fadey, a little streaky in the background. I don't mind some of that texture. I'm just going to try and not go over her too much. I kind of want to go over her a little bit because I'm going to end up painting over the top of the part of that background anyway. But I don't need to paint over her whole body and then deal with all that purple later. So I'll accidentally cover over a little bit of it, but not too much. And I already know my first problem with this is I haven't left enough space to write in. But you know what? We're learning. I think if we manage to finish it in this next hour, it'll be a great attempt. Let's go a little bit more blue. We don't have to go super blue, but I want a little bit of blue and possibly a little bit of green for that water. Just a fun mix, and we'll have it just really washy. Let it do its thing. I don't mind it looking all streaky. There we go. I just want to lean into the things that I'm not super confident at. So since I can't seem to get great flat washes of this yet, I'm just gonna lean into it being a little streaky. I'm gonna check the chat while I dry this for a second. You could go over it with a second layer of lighter color. True, I could do that. I think I'm going to commit to each layer though and just kind of let it be a one layer type thing. Because if anything, I'll probably go over it with pencil and mixed media afterwards. Alrighty, there we go. So are all the colors in your palette watercolors or are they gouache? This is actually gouache. This is Mission Magello Gold Gouache. I think it's a hybrid gouache or something. I was gifted the set, so I don't know too much information about it, but they're actually really, really super pigmented. I meant for the journal part. Oh yeah, I want to leave it. I just because I want the original like paper to show through, but I totally could kind of paint out that journaling space as well. But you know, I'm gonna put a few words in there at this point, so it's fine. I don't have any novels today. I'll probably just do I did this on Instagram Live, and then my feelings about it. Let's grab a smaller brush. And let's mix together a bit of this orange over here with this color that's already on the palette. I want to get a bit of a skin tone going, but you have a couple of brands of gouache. What would you recommend for a starter set? The Arteza I would recommend as a starter set. I don't think you would need more than that, really, to have a good time. So let's just put her arm on. I want to kind of do these like I did them the other day, where they were almost like one brush stroke mermaids. Which means I'm just going to have to go bold with my strokes. And I can still see, I know it's going to be hard to see, but I can still see the red pencil under there. If anything, it's probably, the gouache isn't opaque enough, I haven't mixed it well enough. But we'll let that dry and go over it again. And I'm just mixing those tones together. It doesn't have to be the flattest color. But her face is supposed to be under her shoulder, so I don't know if you can pick this up, but I did her face last, so now you can actually see there's a layer over the top of where the shoulder's supposed to be. So this is where layering comes in handy if you're aware of layers as you're going, which is kind of what I was saying on that random tutorial I posted 2 weeks ago. You can go back in and fix that before it becomes an issue. So I'm going to paint the shoulder again over the top, just so that your eye, if it does pick up on the difference of those tones, you won't be seeing the face on top, you'll be seeing the shoulder on top. And then I might even use a bit of a darker color just to go around the back. I don't know how well that picked up, but now the face is a layer behind the shoulder. So it's kind of hard because you've got to think what is in the back and then what's going to be most on top. So even this, you have to know that you want to paint the skin before you paint the hair, because the hair is going to overlap the face. So if you started painting the hair, then you'd have to be really careful about not getting any of that skin tone on the hair. Does anyone know if the Arteza set is acrylic gouache or if it can be reactivated? It is regular gouache, which means it can be reactivated with water. And those are typically like the most difficult. I mean, gouache is kind of tricky anyway. Some people think of it as a watercolor, other people think of it as an acrylic that you mix with water to kind of dilute but still make it opaque. It's a tricky medium, but especially when it reactivates with water, because sometimes when we're trying to fix our mistakes, we scrub, and when you scrub on a watercolor painting, just like the gouache, it will reactivate whatever's underneath it. So you may be scrubbing a bit of this skin to kind of fix a mistake, and then suddenly the purple underneath it is showing through and it's all muddy all of a sudden. So that's why I think it can be really difficult, and people that do it best, I've noticed, have very bold, confident strokes, and that's something that I'm not confident with, because I don't think anyone really starts anything super confident, but is why we're practicing today, so that I can build on that confidence and hopefully have a bit of better success with that. So I think I want to mix kind of a peachy color for her tail. No, I want green. Who am I kidding? I'm traditional. I want this green down here. I'm going to need some tealy, turquoisey, blue-green, or actually this is a nice light green. I won't change my brush, this is fine. I'll still try, wherever I'm going to go over the purple, I still want to keep it as few brush strokes as possible. So I might need some more white to thicken that up a bit. And I'm trying to manipulate my brush around so that I can do all that outer edge in one clean stroke. Ideally, I could do this tail in like 2 or 3 strokes. And you know what I should have done first? The rock. Because the tail's going to be on top of the rock. It's fine. I'll go in there, I'll fix the rock now. Just let me dry this for a second. Can I also make a suggestion for anyone in the chat, because I know this comes up sometimes, for anyone that's in the chat live and you don't like all the words popping up, if you just scroll like that on the picture part, like just above the chat, if you just knock it down, it'll reduce it to only like 2 people's comments. So then you don't have to see all the comments flashing up all the time. Just a helpful hint, if anyone wanted that. Well, since I've got this green and blue, gouache is really hard to remix, so I probably shouldn't have done that. I'm going to get a green. I'm going to mix up some of this green to do my... What's it called? Seaweed. Oh, this is a nice... See how matte and like... Well, it's not matte yet, but see how opaque that is? That's a good consistency of gouache. For me, anyway. And this is where it's really going to start to cover up all that background. So this is why we didn't worry about how streaky it looked, because we knew we were going to paint over the top of it, and it was just going to recede into the background anyway. So we weren't really looking to, you know, block anything out. We just wanted to put color there. And I think Diane Reevely says it best when she says it's a background. It's in the back. I'm not sure if that's her exact quote, but that's how I remember her saying it. Okay, just mix some more of that up. Steal some more of that white. And I think we had some not branches, some like viney looking ones that crossed each other here. So I'm going to really try and let the brush do all the work for me. These ones will be in the back, so I don't need to worry too much. And let's mix up some more. I'm just taking the different greens of the palette and mixing them with the green I already have, just to get different tones. But I might even just do some hanging ones. There we go. I'm not trying to do any real seaweed here. It's just kind of whatever feels good coming out of my brush. Yes, I'm constantly telling myself to let the brush do the work. It's tricky, honestly, and I don't consider myself much of a painter. I love to draw, and I'm so much more confident with a pencil and with a pencil and with a pencil and with a pencil and a pen and a marker. You know, give me a paintbrush and it all feels all new. So it's why I push myself to practice a lot, because I don't necessarily want to be good at it. I just want to feel as confident as I feel with a pencil. Because I love the medium. I love painting. I love how it feels. I love the watercolor. I love the gouache. I love the acrylic. I don't love the oils, but I could learn to love it maybe. Gouache is also just notoriously difficult, especially because you have to, once you mix a color, it's really hard to remix it. That's why I like these big sets, because you can get the same color again if you did run out. There we go. Let's do a bit of a lighter green, and hopefully we can try and make it pop on that purple with the last. We'll do like a kind of a leafy vine. There we go. It doesn't so much matter, like if you're going green over green and that reactivates underneath, that's not a problem. So some people, and not some people, I think actually most professional artists that work in gouache would thumbnail out their drawings and plan before they start. I think for us, a lot of us in art journaling and mixed media art, where we're just, you know, we're expressionists, accidental expressionists. We're not here to plan all of that out and to create masterpieces that look like we spent a lot of time on them. We're actually just here to have fun with the medium, with our journals, you know, spend a night expressing our creativity. It doesn't really have to mean that much. And so I think it's kind of hard to set yourself up with the expectation that you would know all of this you know, just by sitting down and like watching a tutorial, you'd be able to just suddenly understand, oh yeah, this is how layers work. Oh yeah, this is the color I should put on top of this color. I think a lot of us are just kind of experimenting as we go. And I think that's a really good thing. So, you know, it's not always important to know how to make something amazing. A lot of really, really fantastic artists that can produce such amazing work sometimes don't even enjoy what they're doing. And so I always think it's kind of a success if you're actually just enjoying yourself. I know that sounds really hokey. Oh, Karen, Boona's here. Hi, Boona. Where's Steve? He's in the other room working. He's got some photography work to do. Lots of computer editing, which I find extremely boring. Okay, let's leave those vines up there. I'll give you a bit of a sneak peek. There you go. That's our progress so far. And we're only half an hour in. We've made some good progress. So I'm going to start on that rock. And you know what? Since I'm going to go over the tail anyway. My high self-expectations are not my friend right now. I'm learning. True. They're not your friend. I've never been friends with mine. I'm going to mix up... Should I mix up... Maybe it should be more of a purpley rock. Like a purpley greyish rock. Darker. More blue. Let's just see what we can come up with. If I just keep mixing the colours as I go, I'll end up with something. Surely. And then, what if I change the angle of my brush? Nope, it's too dry. Let's try it again. It's a nice effect, but does it really say rock? Maybe. Because I like that the white is on that edge, it's kind of catching a ridge. Should we just leave that as our rock? Let's just leave that as our rock. There we go. Oh, you know, it kind of looks like an iceberg. Titanic realness. James, have you ever watched Portrait Artist of the Year? An amazing show about portrait... Anya, I can't even finish reading that. I have watched it. I am obsessed with it. I watched as many as far back as I could. And you know what? Those were the time... I've been like sneakily drawing portraits every now and again. And I swear, it's every time I watch one of those, I'll like get at my desk and I have to try it. Because they make it look so interesting. I can't even bear it. All their processes are so different. Their results are so different. And the critique, even sometimes the critique annoys me a little bit. Because I think like... How objective can you really be? It's art. But yes, looks like the moonlight is seeing off the rock. Oh, yay. I love an accident. I'm going to tell everyone that's what I meant. No, I swear. It's really hard for me to get into it when they're judging because I think, well, what are you going to say? Like, this person clearly did an amazing job. Just because it's not what you would like, I mean, does that mean they shouldn't win? Or I don't know. It's crazy to me. And then other times they're just straight up. They're like, yeah, no, this is really hard to judge. You know, we're just doing our best to pick a winner at this point. But I think their prize is too low. Do you feel like that too? Do you think they get a big enough prize? I know maybe I'm just like, I'm being greedy on their behalf, but like, I mean, I guess that's their work on show, but I just wish they had a bigger prize. Karen, what platform is it on? It's on... I've been watching it on YouTube. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell the YouTube police. But I think it's a BBC program, so any of my Euro peeps will probably just be watching it on the BBC. There we go. So now I'm going to put her hip on. So that purple is so thick, it's just coming up into the gouache. See that? That's the that's what you do when you lift the color from underneath. So I'm gonna give it a quick dry, see if I can fix it a little bit. It's okay, I could just work with it and make it a shadow. Hey Vanessa. But I don't love it, so we'll try and fix it before we accept our fate. Sometimes when it's too difficult in a certain area, I'll just kind of layer on my gouache around that area. I'm not even saying this is what you're supposed to do or if it's going to work. But I'll kind of layer it on and then pull it into the other direction. But even, yeah, no, I'm still messing it up. I put on a big amount of purple onto there. I need a bigger brush. I'm going to get a bigger brush. Sometimes it's, you just need a bigger and a softer brush, because if your brush is hard, that also helps with the scrubbing. If you've got a really soft brush, you can kind of lay it on top. Any new washi in the world? This washi queen is in need of some new ones. I have literally, ever since that creator box fiasco, I've put such a stop on washi tape, it's not funny. And I never made it official, because I've still obviously got a million ideas of things I want to do, but, and then current circumstances kind of put everything on hold with that. So nothing coming, but definitely a million ideas. Okay, let's remix some of this. Nice and thick. And I've got a softer and a bigger brush, so hopefully I can do it in one swoop. Nope, I'm still moving it. What a pain! Well, there you go, kids. We learnt something new. Light green over purple, not really gonna work. Have you used the silver black velvet brushes? They'd be great for this. Yes, I have. I've actually used those, but I get nervous because they're so expensive and I don't want to ruin them with the gouache, which I feel like sounds stupid, but I keep overworking this. Forget the tail for now, we'll come back to it. It needs a break. My puppy ate my pink girls JLB washi tape. Oh no! Oh, I hope it wasn't. I mean, obviously, puppy's still alive, right? It's not toxic, is it? I haven't eaten any rolls myself. Tempted, but I haven't. Let's do her hair. Let's do her face. Because, I could ditch this whole thing if this face doesn't work out. Teeny tiny brush. I don't want to use black. Black is so, it's so harsh. So I'm going to mix up like a greyish, purpley. I could even try and make it brown. I feel like a brown at least doesn't look super duper harsh on anything like this. So I'm going to put one of her eyes here and one here. I might even try and use some of this peach and just stain her eyelids, just so they're a bit of a different tone to the rest of the face. Oh, I'll have to go over her lash line again. I'm making them really circular. I feel like that was a key feature of that time period. I want to dip a bit of white in there as well, just in the center. I know that's a little extra, but that's what you signed up for. Try and blend that in a little bit. Natural makeup. Let's try that. You can't. Acrylic gouache, yes. Regular gouache, no. They're soft enough. I love the 3/4 inch cat's tongue for things like this. Princeton Velvet Touch might work, but they're much more springy. I have... This is the only one I have. Let's go on Walkabout. Oh, there it is. No, lies. Oh, I don't know where it is. It's supposed to be over here. Where is it? I can't find it, sorry. I know no one's upset that I can't find it, but no, oh, there it is. It was underneath my mat. Here. It is the 6 Silver Touch Velvet. So you're saying I can't use this for the gouache? Because I haven't been using it because I think I'm not supposed to use it for this gouache. I thought I couldn't use it for acrylics. I don't know. I'm heavy-handed on everything. It could be the world's, Most durable brush. I'll find a way to bend it. Or accidentally leave it in the water. Okay, let's mix up some more of this. Get it on my brush. And go in on that lash line again. And I'll give her little lashes. And by little, I mean a full set of drag mink lashes. There we go. Just got a little nose, her little eyebrows. She looks kind of unbothered. I wonder if I shouldn't just add a bit of a shadow on the top of her shoulder. Oh, you can't ruin it with regular gouache. Oh, great. Okay, well, maybe I'll try that. There we go. Shadow on top of the shoulder. Swing it around. Perhaps underneath. Her body looks too painterly compared to her face, but I think we can live with that. There, we'll just put some shadow on the side of her face. Okay, hair. What color hair? Something nice and... I'm really liking all these orangey tones. Let's get some orange hair going. Give her a bit of a ranger moment. Get some white in there. Oh, that's nice. And again, we're just painting over the top of that skin tone, really catching that paint in there. So it'll look clean and finished. I think my lesson is still more white, less water, but it's better than the other day, I have to say that much. At least being aware of it has made me think I'm being a bit better than the other day. More white, more water. More white, less water. Trying not to scrub it on that purple. There we go. Her hair's a little bit more voluminous than I imagined it was going to be, but that's okay. All right, there we go. What have I done here? What have I done? I feel you. I know how much I love my favorite brushes. The worst is when the kiddo uses them with the acrylic and lays them on a counter somewhere. It's the worst. Oh, I know. When they're really done for, that's sad. Do you ever use white watercolor that always seems to comes with sets? This color option confuses me. I don't think I ever used the white watercolor. I really don't know. I feel like I don't. Whenever possible, go ginger, right? There's a little process so far. I'm gonna have to, you know what I have to do? I'm only telling you this because I'm just gonna have to be vulnerable and honest here. I'm gonna whack that tail on and the rest is all gonna happen in pencil. And it's just gonna be what it is, I think. We tried our best with the gouache. I think we had some success, but if I'm honest, I've gotten to that point where I'm happy to leave it at that. Because I'm struggling with that purple that I put down. It was such a vibrant, like indigo, deep, inky purple that it's just not something I feel like you should work over the top of. Maybe there are rules about which colors you shouldn't use underneath. But I don't do rules, so I was bound to miss it. And tail. Did I do it? nah. Her hips are just gonna get oversized by the time I'm finished with it. Just trying to get the right coverage on that tail. It's fine. Things that I've learnt in this one. I'm not loving how painterly her body looks compared to how smooth her face looks. It's nice because I like the face, but I think it's disjointed as far as the style goes. And we can definitely add some extra stuff in here with pencil that I think, where I'm lacking in the painting, I can add it in with the pencil. So let's just dry this a little bit and I'll show you, because this is on watercolor paper. The pencil will pick up the texture of the paper really nicely. It's not super heavy textured paper, but especially over some of these darker seaweeds and stuff, like we can really pull out some pretty patterning and details. This is a Caran d'Ache Luminance pencil. These are great. I don't think I've ever really tried to consider the opacity of pencils until I started mixed media art. And I was like, oh yeah, it does matter. Some I really like that they're light, and they're like oil based and they blend all really beautifully together. I don't know what base these are. They might be oil, but they've got more of a pastel feeling. Like they'll layer on top of a lot of stuff, a lot nicer than like a Prismacolor might. I'm biased against Prismacolors for some reason. I really don't know. I shouldn't be. Barely used the things. Even the polychromos, see how it's not showing up as vibrant as the luminance? The Holbein are pretty good for it though. Here's a light green of the Holbein. So I'm adding in the detail as if I were going, the drawing I did at the start? I'm going to try and draw that again. So I don't need to be perfectly inside all the things I painted. In fact, there's this really great, I don't know if it's a documentary. Is it a documentary? I've completely forgotten. It's gone from the top of my head. 101 Dalmatians, the way that they do the backgrounds in that has this really nice separation between the background color blocking and the detail line art on the top. We got a lot of brush chat going on in the thing. Luminance or wax. Oh, cool. Holbein are a mix of wax, oil, and fat based, which is why they're so unique. Oh, no way. These. I have a whole pastel set of these that I have not used yet because I'm really precious about it. I don't know if I just want to collect them and never use them, but I really also want to use them, so I shouldn't be precious. Anyway, let's I feel like we could even, I wonder if we could just even kind of color in like little circles of this yellow, kind of lime green yellow. I don't really know what color this is. Just add some of that color in here, like the little fireflies. Because it does look like a bit of a night scene. Do you all find that the brush quality makes a really significant difference to you? No, I don't. Only sometimes, but not enough to only use expensive brushes. Put little fireflies in there. Oh, there we go. If I just smash them, they won't be so round. She can be a mermaid, but she'll be in the bayou. Because that makes sense with all this purple. It's Mardi Gras! Oh no, now I'm tempted to do all my splatters. Don't get me started. There we go. Chartreuse, I love that word. Let's get a peach. We can even add some of the peach to her cheeks, because I love a bit of blush. A bit of rouge. Some of this color. Oh, it's not dark enough. Maybe some of this terracotta. looking color. So this I'm just going to add to where I would maybe put some shadows. It's got a bit of a waxy shine to it, but that's fine. And that way I can just separate some of that hair from the face, because at the moment it's all looking very blocky, kind of stuck together. Because these gouache are matte, they're easy to work on top of with pencils, which is nice. Put a bit of shading on the crook of her back. Probably best to put a purple shadow in there, maybe. Got a nice purple somewhere here. Oh no, I don't know where it is. Oh, here. This is a nice luminance purple. Let's add that into some of these shadow areas for a nice shadow. I could even use that just around her to kind of sharpen up the outline of her body and just fade that into that background a little bit. There we go. Actually, you know what might be really good for this? Pastels. I've been meaning to get a set of pastels. I'm just curious. I don't know if I would like them. I've used them before as a kid, but like in the past 5 years, I don't think I've picked up a pastel. I picked up a pastel pencil. There we go. We've got this green, so we can put this back on. I think we could even add some scale detail. It rhymed. Just different size U shapes, I think, would be nice. And some lines in that tail. Okay. Well, she's getting a bit more detail now. I just don't know. I think I should probably leave her at that. I kind of want some splatters in this background. I don't know why. Everyone's like, don't do. I'm definitely doing it, so brace yourself. Just gotta find my little splatter brush. I don't have a designated splatter brush. Ali Brown's got that really gorgeous, is it a Tim Holtz one or a Dina Wakley one? I don't know who makes it. But it's like, it's long and crazy looking. So, I'm actually gonna, it's not gonna be crazy splatter. The water will probably activate some of that gouache like it did here with that droplet, but I've got this Hydrocolor Falcor watercolor here. So it's gonna look like drops of light. And I just want to put that everywhere because it'll be nice and iridescent for all my little fireflies and my Bayou Mermaid. There we go. And do you know what else I'm going to do? Because I'm me. I'm going to go into my Manhattan, my designs by Rachel Beth. And I'm going to put some of that on the tail, I think. Because I can't help myself. I love this as a mermaid tail color. There we go, we'll let that dry a bit. Just blot up any of those puddles that are a little excessive. Oh no, did I wash that in with that? I think I put that, the watercolor and the gouache, I didn't even think about that. The watercolor has activated the gouache underneath it, and so now there's an opaque watercolor with that iridescent watercolor, so it's actually not showing all of the shine on it. It actually looks really dull and muted now. Whoops. Do you know what that means? More splatter. I'll get it on there, don't you worry. Even if I have to paint on those little scale shapes again. Maybe it'll look even nicer now. All in the name of learning, right? Hopefully if you've been playing along, you've been learning from my mistakes, or perhaps calling them out to me before I made them. But I did have a really great time doing this with you, so thank you for being here. I think, like I said, if I managed to get something done, I was going to feel successful, and I can honestly say it's not my favorite thing ever, but I feel successful. I learnt a lot, I had a play, and now I'll know a couple more things for next time. Like I probably won't ever use that purple underneath anything again. That's a colour we can't have in the background. Copper candles everywhere. My goodness, it's right in front of me and I'm not even using it like a lunatic. There we go. A few copper candles for my fireflies. Isn't it gorgeous? Just love it. I forgot to put a lily pad on. Oh, should I try it in my last few minutes? I should probably just quickly put a small little lily pad on her head. There you go. Oh, that's pretty. Thank you. You are making life fun, playing and showing us all wonderful things. Well, thank you. I hope it is fun and not too stressful. I got to get ready to say goodbye before Instagram kicks me off. So, thank you so much for joining me. I will put the live replay of this on my blog for later. Not sure if I'll get around to that tonight, but I'll do it as soon as I can. And yeah, I had a wonderful time learning with you all today. I hope you find gouache a little bit easier the more we try it, if you're someone that's learning alongside me. And if you're someone that already knows it, I hope you're having a fun time watching me figure it out. And if you're someone that never wanted to try it but is enjoying watching anyway, I hope that was fun for you. Oh look, she's got a bit of glitter on her eye. Okay, last thing I promise. She's getting glitter eyelids. She's getting glitter eyelids, and then I'm going to give you a final close-up look. I just saw your comment, Anya. Yes, I will absolutely zoom you in. I know the glitter's going to be too much, but she has drag lashes on, so leave her alone. Let her live. Leave Brittany alone. Just a little more. I love to pack on the glitter. It's got to look like diamonds. This is Hydra color and it's called Empress. There we go. I love it. It's like a pewter kind of glitter. Here is the close-up. Hopefully you can see all the different glittery and iridescent effects going on there, even with this lighting. There we go. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I will be around another time very, very soon. Hope you have a great night, and until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.